I wrote this letter from Pleasant Valley, Maryland, on January 9th, 1865. I wrote it to my parents. I will read it as I wrote it. Dear parents, it is not with pleasure that I write these few lines to you, for I have bad news. Levi is dead. He died in Savannah, and what he died with was starvation, and he had scurvy, so, you know his fate. It is bad news to write to you. But I suppose that you want to know. 2 boys came to the battery today that was taken the same time that he was, and they say that he is dead. He died last October. Well, Ma, I am well as usual, and I sincerely hope this will find you the same. I will not write much today, for I expect a letter from you tonight, and then I will answer it. I remain as ever son, Marvin W. Green. When I wrote those words, I did not know everything. I knew Levi was gone. I knew how he died. But I did not yet understand how close he came to believing he would live. Levi was a prisoner at Andersonville Prison. By the late summer of 1864, conditions there had become unbearable even by the standards of war. Men were dying by the hundreds. Starvation and scurvy were everywhere. And then something changed. Word spread through the stockade that General Sherman was coming, that the Confederates were evacuating the camp, that the prisoners were being sent home. Imagine what that must have done to a man like Levi. After months of hunger, sickness, and confinement, hope returned. Not slowly, but all at once. The gates opened, men were marched out, they were put on trains. They believed the war had finally loosened its grip on them. Levi believed he was going home. But the train did not carry them north. It carried them deeper into Georgia. They were taken to Camp Lawton. Camp Lawton was new, larger, less crowded at first. It had been built as a replacement for Andersonville, not as a release from captivity. For men already weakened by starvation and disease, the transfer was not mercy, it was delay. Food did not improve, medical care did not appear. Winter came. Levi did not survive long after the move. His body, already consumed by hunger and scurvy, could not recover from the journey or the disappointment. The promise of freedom had arrived just long enough to be taken away again. When I wrote to my parents, I could only tell them that Levi was dead. What I could not yet explain was how cruel hope itself had become. Levi did not die only of starvation. He died after believing, briefly, that he had endured enough. That is the part of his story I carry with me. The records, research, and documentation surrounding Levi's imprisonment, the evacuation of Andersonville, and the establishment of Camp Lawton can be found at alfredgibbs.com. I am, as always, your obedient servant, Corporal Marvin Wheeler Green.